Let's start with how to identify a sequence as arithmetic or geometric. An arithmetic sequence will always have the same difference or a common difference. That means when you look at the distance between each consecutive term, it will be exactly the same. This sequence has a common difference of 2. This sequence has a common difference of 5, and this sequence has a common difference of -3. So, all three of these sequences are arithmetic because every single one is increasing or decreasing by exactly the same amount as you go from term to term. A geometric sequence has a common ratio. What that means is when we look at one term divided by the previous term, we'll always get the same common ratio, the same number. In this first sequence, we can see that as we go from term to term, the term values are doubling. So the common ratio here is 2. In our next sequence, it's not as easy to see what the common ratio is. So I'm going to take the second term and divide it by the first term, and I get 3/2. To double check, I can take the third term and divide it by the second term, and once again, I get 3/2. So the common ratio for this geometric sequence is 3/2. In this last sequence, the numbers are being divided by 3 each time. However, we don't really want to think about this as division. We still want to find that common ratio where each term is being multiplied by it to get to the next term. So I'm going to use this same technique. I'll take the second term and put it over the first term, and I see that that simplifies to 1/3. I can double check that and put the third term over the second term, and once again, I see that that simplifies to 1/3. So our common ratio for this last sequence is 1/3. To recap, if your sequence has a common difference, meaning it goes up or down by the same amount as you go from one term to the next, that's an arithmetic sequence. If your sequence has a common ratio, meaning you can multiply by the same amount each time to get from one term to the next, you have a geometric sequence. If you don't find either of those things, your sequence is neither arithmetic nor geometric.